Hey guys, YouTuber and here. Alright, and now here I am, as I told you guys in my last video, with Summerslam being this Sunday, I would make a retro Summerslam review. And so here I am with that retro Summerslam review. And for this review, this is going to be a review for Summerslam 1999. So, yeah, I don't really know what happened with my recorder last night and my camera because, yeah, I tried to make this review last night, but for some reason, like, after I filmed it, I realized that apparently no audio was recorded with it, so I have no idea what went wrong with my camera last night. So, this is actually the second time that I'm attempting to review it, so, yeah, hopefully, like, the audio does pick up this time. I mean, yeah, if I upload this, the audio will obviously be on. I'm not gonna upload something without any audio. I mean, what sense does that make? Yeah, so yeah, hopefully if you're watching this right now, of course I've uploaded it because this will have audio. So yeah, hopefully this one will turn out okay. Alright. So yeah, anyway. So I decided that I would review this SummerSlam because I have already talked about the other four main pay-per-views of 1999. I've already talked about Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, King of the Ring, and Survivor Series that year. I did make full-on reviews for Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, and King of the Ring in 1999. But yeah, I didn't really make a full-on review for Survivor Series. I just made a quick little video giving my quick thoughts on the show because that show was just so bad I didn't really want to make a full-on review for it. But yeah, I've talked about the other four main shows, and all four were pretty bad shows. I mean, Royal Rumble was really bad, WrestleMania sucked, King of the Ring was really bad, and Survivor Series was also terrible as well. So yeah, I've said the other four main pay-per-views of 1999 all sucked, and yeah, this one did too. I mean, I have seen some reviews of people saying that they actually do like this SummerSlam and they think it's good, but I do not understand how they can actually like this SummerSlam and how they can actually think it's good. Because, I guess out of the all five main pay-per-views of 1999, I guess this one is probably the least bad of the five, but it's still a bad show. I mean, I was pretty bored for pretty much this entire show. I mean, a lot of the matches I was just really bored watching. Just this entire show just really is pretty forgettable and really unmemorable. I mean, this is probably one of the most forgettable SummerSlams, let alone pay-per-views in WWF and WWE history. Because really, how often do you hear people really talking about this show when people do talk about SummerSlam in general? I mean, I really haven't heard this SummerSlam really come up much in people's conversations. And when they talk about SummerSlam, I mean, it's just that's how just forgettable this pay-per-view is. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of along the lines of WrestleMania 5, where just you're watching it and it is just such a forgettable show, and it just feels as boring and mediocre as it could possibly be. I mean, to be fair, most of the matches on the show, they are at least okay, but the thing that I just really don't like about this, and really what really just brings the matches down for me and takes away my enjoyment from them, is just this show really does have Vince Russo's name written all over it, because as you're watching the show, you can just see a lot of these matches were booked by Vince Russo, just how freaking overbooked they were, and it is really pretty ridiculous how overbooked it is, and I just really I hate Vince Russo style booking. I mean, he just overbooks the shit out of every match, where it's just so much ridiculous and crazy stuff is going on that it really just becomes overkill. And this show really just is a prime example of that. Like I said, this really just has Vince Russo booking all over it, and that's really what is something else that really takes away takes away the enjoyment that I would have for the show, because like I said, a lot of the matches are at least okay. For most of these matches, the in-ring action overall, it is decent to solid enough. But Vince Russo's booking, that's really what just ruins these matches. Now, the show does have a couple of good matches on the show, but yeah, but yeah, it's not enough to really say that this show overall is good because it really is just like a pretty boring show, and yeah, just like the booking is something else that really just makes the show even worse. So yeah, so if you haven't seen the show, I really can't really say that it is worth checking out. So yeah, just a very boring, forgettable show, and yeah, not really recommended. All right, so I just really don't know what else I can really say about the show. It just is very boring and forgettable, and I don't like it, and I really don't understand how anybody could. Alright, so yeah, let me just talk a little bit about the card. Yeah, alright, so the show kicked off with both the European and Intercontinental titles on the line. It was D'Lo Brown who held both championships, defending against Jeff Jarrett. And yeah, this is the first example of just the Vince Russo style booking, because why is D'Lo Brown defending both titles at one time in a match? Like, I mean, seriously, I mean, if you're gonna have two titles on the line, do it in a better style than this. Like, do it right. Like, just having them be on the line at once, and it's like by the same guy, is just like not the right way to do it at all. I mean, if you're gonna do this, do it with something like having like one guy hold each title and have it be like title for title or something. Don't have both titles be held by one guy and be on the line. I mean, at once. And even like when like there are two titles on the line, like when the European and Intercontinental titles were on the line, in like the WrestleMania 2000 Triple Threat match with Kurt Angle, Benoit, and Jericho. Like it was two falls, with one fall being for the Intercontinental title and one being for the European title. So yeah, and that was really like a seems like a better way of like having both two titles be that are held by one guy be on the line at once, rather than like having the guy defend both titles at the same time in time. So yeah, so that's the first problem with this, and yeah, and something else that was like like the booking for this was that yeah, at first like Deborah was of course like with Jeff Jarrett at the time, and of course like when Jeff Jarrett came out, like Deborah was in Jeff Jarrett's corner. But then, yeah, before the match had started, like Jeff Jarrett had like sent Deborah to the back, and then D'Lo then just like when Deborah like walked to the back, he then convinced Deborah to come out to ringside with him. Yeah, yeah, but yeah. So yeah, and I'll talk more about this when I get to the end of this match. Yeah, but yeah, so this match, like the in-ring action overall, it was decent enough. I mean, I did think that the in-ring action was solid enough. I mean, yeah, it was some like solid back and forth action between D'Lo and Jeff Jarrett. Yeah, I did like at one point in the match, whereas D'Lo was trying to like go for like some sort of move, like I think it was a lowdown or something on Jeff Jarrett. Jeff Jarrett then like went to D'Lo Brown, then like just did an arm breaker or something from the top turnbuckle down to the canvas. Yeah. Yeah, and then of course, like, it seemed that Deborah was like trying to Jeff Jarrett was being distracted with Deborah throughout the match. Yeah, and then at the end of this match, Mark Henry then like ended up like coming down. Looked like he was coming down to really like give D'Lo Brown an assist, because this is of course like D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry like had a history together as like partners and stuff. So it looked like Mark Henry was coming down to like really just give Jeff Jarrett an assist. And then yeah, he got in the ring with the guitar, and then as D'Lo Brown was like trying to go for like a pile driver or something onto Jeff Jarrett, then Mark Henry then just like nailed D'Lo Brown with the guitar, and that knocked him out, and then that allowed Jeff Jarrett to really get the pin. So yeah, Jeff Jarrett won the Intercontinental and European titles, and then and as that was going on, like Deborah was of course like on the ring apron too. Looked like she was trying to get involved as Mark Henry was like coming down. Yeah, and then after Jeff Jarrett won, then that showed then like Deborah had never like left Jeff Jarrett, and yeah, this was all just a hoax to really like help Jeff Jarrett win the titles. So yeah, so. Now, so what was even the point of this whole Deborah stuff? So yeah, that's another thing with like the Vince Russo type of booking. Like, why did they even go through this whole thing with Deborah? Like, what was the point of that? So yeah, that was stupid. But yeah, the match overall, it was decent enough. But yeah, it's just the booking that really does bring it down for me. So yeah, so I would give this match probably like a 2 3/4. Yeah. And then next up after this, then we got a Tag Team Turmoil match to determine the number one contenders for the Tag Team Championship. And yeah, this, like, it did start off, like, entertaining. Like, the first two teams that started off were Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys. And yeah, as it started off, like, with these two teams, it was entertaining. Like, it was some good back and forth action. I did like how one of the Hardys, I forgot whether it was Matt or Jeff, but yeah, they were, like, on the barricade, like, running over it, trying to, like, dive on the outside, trying to dive at Edge. But yeah, then as they dove off the barricade, Edge just gave them a spear. So yeah, that was kind of a cool moment. Yeah. Yeah, and of course, like, yeah, this was like when the Hardy Boys like were part of the New Brood, and Gangrel was at ringside with the Hardy Boys. So yeah, Gangrel like was trying to get involved at a few points of the match. Yeah, yeah, and it was like and I did enjoy like Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys going at it. Like, it went back and forth, and yeah, it was enjoyable. But yeah, then eventually Edge and Christian ended up getting the win. And then after this is like when the match stopped being interesting. Yeah, for the rest of the match, like, it was just like uninteresting, and yeah, it just really stopped being entertaining, really, because yeah, then the next team to enter was Mideon and Viscera, and Edge and Christian eliminated them relatively quickly. Yeah, and then Albert and Droz were the next team to come out, and yeah, Edge and Christian defeated them pretty quickly as well. Yeah, and then the next team to come out were the Acolytes. The Acolytes actually like ended up just kind of like coming in before it was actually their turn. But yeah, the Acolytes were then the next ones, and then yeah, then they went at it with Edge and Christian for a little bit, and then yeah, they eventually ended up defeating Edge and Christian. So yeah, and then the final team to begin the match were the Holly cousins, so Hardcore Holly and Crash. Yeah, and they were another one that actually did like end up coming out early before it was actually their turn. Yeah, but yeah, then yeah, Hardcore and Crash then went at it with the Acolytes, and then like there was like sort of like some tension between Crash and Hardcore. Like, they kind of like had their issues when it came to getting along. And then yeah, then as they were like bickering amongst each other, then yeah, the Acolytes then were able to take advantage of that, and then yeah, they then like took out the Hollies and were able to get the win. So yeah, the Acolytes ended up winning the Tag Team Turmoil and became the number one contenders for the tag team titles. So yeah, like I said, I mean, it started off like entertaining with the Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys, but yeah, after that fall, then that's when the match just stopped being interesting. So yeah, it was like very it was a pretty forgettable Tag Team Turmoil match aside from that first fall. So yeah, so I would probably give this like a 2.5 stars. And then the next match was for the Hardcore Championship. It was the Big Boss Man defending against Al Snow. But before this match had actually started, Road Dogg then came out like he was going to be on commentary for the match. And then, yeah, Road Dogg was then starting to cut up promo because, yeah, the winner of the match would, like, face Road Dogg and defend the Hardcore title against him. And then Road Dogg got interrupted by Chris Jericho. And, yeah, Chris Jericho was then just, like, having an exchange with the Road Dogg. And, yeah, it went on for, like, 5 or 10 minutes. Like, what was even the point of this? Like, this contributed to nothing for this show. So I don't even see what the point is. This was just like an absolute waste of time and took away from the rest of the show that the time could have been dedicated to like giving some matches more time or something. So this was like an absolute just waste of time. Why was this even on the show? Like, just more Vince Russo crap. Yeah. But then, yeah, after this, then was the match for the Hardcore title with Al Snow versus Big Boss Man. Yeah, Big Boss Man was defend title. And oh man, this is just a big ultimate example of the Vince Russo style booking. This match was just like so freaking ridiculous. And really just this match is just like I feel like at this time, like, the WWF was really just taking the false count anywhere stipulation way too literally. Yeah, because, yeah, this match never even got into the ring once. Like, as, like, Al Snow came out, like, he was just, like, hiding, like, somewhere in the entranceway to wait for the Big Boss Man so he could, like, sneak attack him. And you mean to say, like, Big Boss Man didn't see what Al Snow did on any monitor or anything in the back? Yeah. But then, yeah, then the Big Boss Man came out and then Al Snow jumped at him, yeah. And really just Road Dogg was just being ridiculous here too, because Road Dogg wasn't even really sitting at the commentary table to commentate the match. Like, what he did was, he was just like following Al Snow and Big Boss Man everywhere they went with a microphone commentating the match. Like, why are you following them? Just sit your ass down at the broadcast table and do the commentary there, where you belong to do commentary, you moron. Yeah. So it got annoying seeing Road Dogg following Al Snow and Big Boss Man everywhere. Yeah. And and Al Snow and Big Boss Man were like fighting in the back, and then it eventually like spilled out of the building, and they were then like fighting like on the street, and then they eventually like were fighting inside of a bar. They made their way into a bar and were battling it out there. And this is like what I was talking about. Just the WWF really did take the false count anywhere stipulation way too literally here in 1999, because you may remember back when I reviewed St. Valentine's Day Massacre back this past February, like the match with Al Snow and Hardcore Holly, like that match spilled to the outside of the building. And I remember the match they had at Backlash that year was the same way. That also spilled to the outside of the building. And they did it here too. Like, seriously, the WWF just took that stipulation way too freaking literally. Just because it's false count anywhere doesn't mean like you need to just display it and really go like literally anywhere outside of the building for it. So they just took it way too literally that year. But I think that they did like learn their lesson after 1999, because in the following years for like the rest of the hardcore titles run, I don't really remember them really doing this anymore, where they like went like outside of the building for these matches. Like they just like had to like they did like have it like spill like around the building, but they didn't really go like out of the building. So I think they learned their lesson after 1999. But the booking is something, once again, and the part of this match that really brings it down for me. Them like just like fighting outside and like into a bar, that just like really became like overkill for me. And then eventually, as like Road Dogg was just like continuing to follow them and provide commentary, Al Snow eventually not Al Snow, the Big Boss Man, then like tried to go after Road Dogg, and then Road Dogg hit the Big Boss Man in the back with his nightstick, and then that allowed Al Snow to get defeat of the Big Boss Man after like the Big Boss Man was lying on a pool table, and the Al Snow was able to do something and get the pin. Al Snow ended up winning the Hardcore Championship. But like I said, it just really became overkill with them like brawling and having it spill out of the building and into a bar. Like, I was just dumb, and I really don't like that they took the false count anywhere stipulation so literally. So that's my main gripe with this match and really what brings it down for me. But of course, the following month in Unforgiven, it got even worse with these guys with that Kennel from Hell match, but that's another story. Like, I'm not even going to go there. But this match, this was just like booked so stupidly, and it just really, I didn't enjoy it. I just felt it got overkill. So I give that like 2 stars. And then next up after this, then we have the Women's Championship on the line. Ivory defending against Tori, and this was freaking... this match was freaking awful. I mean, Tori just absolutely sucked. Like, she was horrible. Like, WrestleMania 15, the match she had with Sable, it was freaking awful, and it was... And she was a huge contribution to that, because she just was a terrible and atrocious wrestler. And I didn't really enjoy Ivory much either. I mean, I was never really a fan of Ivory. I really didn't think she was very good in the ring, and I just really wasn't entertained by her. But this match was just absolutely sloppy, and it was just like boring. It was just this match was just like really, really bad, and it lasted like 4 minutes, and then Ivory got the win somehow. Who cares? This was just terrible, and this just shows like how bad Tori really was. So I give that a dud. It was freaking horrible. Man. And then next up, then we had a Lion's Den weapons match. It was Steve Blackman versus Ken Shamrock. And once again, the problem with this match was the booking. I mean, yeah, just like at uh, SummerSlam the previous year with Ken Shamrock and Owen Hart, this wasn't in the ring. This was in a Lion's Den, which is basically like a mixed martial arts cage. Right? Yeah, and yeah, problem here once again was like I said, the booking. I mean, yeah, for one thing, like like I was kind of like annoyed watching this match because yeah, they were like filming this match from like the outside of the Lion's Den, and yeah, and for like most of this match, like you had to just like glimpse through the cage fencing walls, like the fencing walls would like constantly like be in the way. Like the camera was just like way too close to the fencing, and you just really had to like glimpse through it to watch the match. Like that was like pretty annoying, and it kind of gave me a headache having to glimpse through it. Like couldn't they have just like had this be like an overhead view for the match? Like I don't remember like the SummerSlam 1998 Lions Den match being like that. And really, I don't really remember like any cage matches where like they like film it like so freaking close to the fencing where you got to glimpse through it. So yeah, that's one problem I have with this match. And another one is just like, why did they add like weapons to the gimmick for this match? Like, this kind of like reminded me of like the Extreme Elimination Chamber at December to Dismember. Yeah, just yeah, you had like weapons like being like mounted on like the walls and halls for this match, and yeah, they could like get to them. You had like kendo sticks and nunchucks, and yeah, just like other weapons used in the match. Yeah, and yeah, and I just really felt that like that stipulation really did like bring the match down, and yeah, and it really took away my enjoyment. And like I said, just it was annoying having to glimpse through the cage with fencing for the majority of the match. I mean, there were some like parts in the match where you actually did have an aerial angle to look through, but yeah, a lot of it was just like having to glimpse through the cage fencing, so that was something that was annoying about the match. Yeah, but yeah, the end, well, like match itself, like the in ring action, it was decent enough. Like it just kind of did go back and forth, or like just each guy was like using weapons and yeah, just like battling it out with each other. Yeah, but yeah, something else that really just brings the match out for me too is the ending, because the stipulation for the match was that the winner, the first one to like escape the Lions Den would be the winner, but yet Ken Shamrock just ended up like knocking out Steve Blackman with like a kick or hitting him with a weapon or something, and then that's when the match ended and Ken Shamrock was declared the winner. Like Ken Shamrock didn't even escape from the Lions Den. I mean, he did climb to the top of it after he knocked out Steve Blackman, but yeah, that's not escaping. So yeah, so that's just stupid as well. Like you're saying that the match ends when somebody escapes, but yet it doesn't. It ends by a knockout. So yeah, just Vince Russo, stop drinking and actually realize what you're booking. Just I could sometimes seriously just punch Vince Russo right in the head. Just his booking pisses me off so much, and he acts like a freaking idiot. Man, yeah. So I mean, so the match overall, I mean, it was all right, but yeah, just there was so much stuff that was annoying about it, and yeah, it just really did like prevent me from really enjoying it. So yeah, so I give that match like 2.5 stars as well. Yeah, just pretty annoying. Yeah. But then next up, then we actually do get the shining star of this event. Next match, you had Shane McMahon versus Test in a Greenwich street fight, and this was definitely the highlight of the show. This is easily the best match of the show. Yeah, this match was just really good, to maybe even great, some people could say. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So going into this match, like Test had actually like injured the three members of the Mean Street Posse. Like he like injured Pete Gas's neck somehow. Rodney like suffered a dislocated shoulder or something, and Joey Av like injured his foot somehow. Yeah, and so yeah, it seemed like they weren't going to be there to back up Shane McMahon. But then yeah, after like both Shane McMahon and Test got in the ring, then it showed them that the Mean Street Posse were there, and Shane McMahon had like given them a front row seat, and he had them like sit on a sofa in the front row. So that was pretty funny. Yeah, but this match was like really, really good. Like a lot of some really good back and forth action between Test and Shane. Yeah, Shane was just like using a bunch of like his heel tactics, like he was just like nailing a Test with a bunch of weapons. Like there were like road signs, and there was like a glass picture frame that he smashed over Test's head, and glass went everywhere. Yeah. Yeah, and then Test battled back, and then at one point he actually did like throw Shane right into the posse and knocking the sofa back. Yeah. But then the posse then eventually then all like ganged up on Test to try to help Shane. Yeah. Yeah. At one point, like all three members of the posse were held Shane onto Test. They held Test onto the Spanish announce table, and then that allowed Shane to go up to the top turnbuckle and then like dive down onto Test and give him the elbow drop right to the table. Yeah, I mean Shane McMahon's trademark diving elbow drop, right? Yeah. And then Test tried to like take out the members of the posse. He was able to like fight them off, but the posse were then like continuing to come back and just like try to like beat Test down some more. Yeah, at one point I think it was Joey Adams, or it might have been like Pete Gasserani. I forgot which one it was, but one of the members of the posse tried to nail Test with one of the road signs, but Test moved out of the way and Shane accidentally got hit. Yeah. Yeah, and then the posse then just like continued to try to get involved with this, and then eventually Pat Patterson and Gerald Briscoe then came out, and then they were able to take out the posse, and then then eventually like Test then just gave Shane the pump handle slam, and then gave his own flying elbow drop onto Shane and got the pin. So Test got the win. But this match was like. This was really, really good, and and this is, like I said, this is definitely the highlight of the show. So if you have to check out a match from this SummerSlam, I definitely say check this one out. I mean, this was just a really, really good, entertaining match. I mean, still some Vince Russo style booking, but it was still like, this was actually like good Vince Russo style booking. So a really, really good to great match. So I really did enjoy this one. And like I said, this is definitely the highlight of the show. And then next up then, the tag team titles were on the line. It was Kane and X-Pac defending against Undertaker and Big Show. And I was pretty bored by this match. I mean, I didn't really enjoy either of these teams. I mean, Undertaker and Big Show just, I didn't really like them as a team. I just really didn't think that they really like this version of the Undertaker with the Big Show. They didn't really bring anything into the tag division. And and the Kane and X-Pac team I didn't really enjoy either. I mean, especially seeing like with Kane like feuding with like DX and the Corporation and then stuff, and then like we just like get this from them. I really wasn't a fan of the Kane and X-Pac team either. And like I said, I was just pretty bored watching this match. I mean, there really wasn't anything that good at all in this match. I mean, it was just like really like under average and substandard back and forth tag team action. I mean, you had like X-Pac being legal in the match for quite a while, and he was fighting off Undertaker and Big Show, and then eventually Kane got in the match, and Kane was really like going after the Undertaker more than the Big Show in this match. And then X-Pac then and was like fighting it off with like Undertaker and Big Show in the ring, as Kane was like on the outside fighting the other guy. And then then eventually then like Undertaker then just like got a tombstone on X-Pac, and that allowed Undertaker and Big Show to get the win, and because Kane wasn't able to get into the ring in time. So so Undertaker and Big Show won the tag team titles. So I was just like really bored by this match. Very substandard and under average tag team action. So I would give this like 2 stars. And then next up, then we got like probably the biggest downgrade for a superstar ever. Next up, then we had The Rock versus Billy Gunn in a Kiss My Ass match. why would they do this to The Rock? Why would they just reduce The Rock down to something like this? I mean, yeah, for the first half of 1999, I mean, they constantly had The Rock in the WWF title picture, like they had him feuding with Mankind, Stone Cold, and The Undertaker for the WWF title. But then they reduced The Rock down to like a boring, uninteresting, silly rivalry like this. Ah, I mean, did Vince Russo just not like The Rock or something? Like, whose idea was it to give The Rock this crap for SummerSlam? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess like with Billy Gunn winning the King of the Ring that year, they wanted to do the best thing they could think of with him and like have him feud with like a main eventer like The Rock. But this is quite possibly The Rock's most boring, uninteresting feud of all time. Yeah. So yeah, before the match had started, like it was seemed to be that the loser of this match would kiss the winner's ass. But then yeah, Billy Gunn brought out some like older, fatter woman saying that The Rock was going to kiss that woman's ass when he lost. Yeah. But yeah, this match was just like so boring and uninteresting. I mean, I really don't remember anything that happened in this match. Just I feel so bad that The Rock had to be reduced down to this for SummerSlam. I mean, this is like the worst thing they have ever done with The Rock at SummerSlam. I mean, look at The Rock's history at SummerSlam. I mean, he has had like a lot of like overall, like his resume for SummerSlam is really good, and yeah, it's really great. I mean, yeah, from like the ladder match he had with Triple H at 1998, the triple threat match for the WWF title at SummerSlam 2000, Booker T for the WCW title at 2001, Brock Lesnar in 2002. So yeah, The Rock has had like a really good track record at SummerSlam, but this is definitely the worst thing The Rock has ever done at SummerSlam. This was just this was a shame. Yeah. But then, yeah, and then at one point, like, Billy Gunn tried to bring that woman into the ring and shove The Rock's face in her ass, but then, yeah, The Rock fought Billy Gunn off, and then he stuffed Billy Gunn's face into the woman's ass, and then, yeah, then The Rock gave Billy Gunn a rock bottom of people's elbow and got the win, whoop-de-doo. So at least The Rock won, but, yeah, this crap was just an absolute shame, and I just do not know what the WWF was thinking doing this for The Rock at SummerSlam. This was just, like I said, this is like probably the worst, well, not the worst, but the most boring and uninteresting feud The Rock ever had in his career. So yeah, this was just an absolute shame. So I give that 2 stars. Yeah. And then we got the main event, and the triple threat match for the WWF Championship. It was Stone Cold defending against Triple H and Mankind with special guest referee Jesse the Body Ventura. So, yeah, I did like that they decided to get Jesse the Body Ventura involved in this and have him be the referee for the match. It was interesting seeing him there. Yeah. And throughout the show, like it showed like Vince Russo talking to the 3 participants, just like saying that he's gonna make sure that this match really is like done fairly, and he even told Triple H that China had better not get involved because, yeah, of course, like this was still when China was with Triple H, and China was going to be in Triple H's corner for the match. Yeah. Yeah, and this match overall, it was pretty good. Yeah, it was easily the second best match of the night. Now, as the match started off, it was of course like Stone Cold and Mankind just double teaming on Triple H and going after him. Yeah, and then then eventually at one point, then like China then like ended up like attacking Mankind, and Jesse the Body saw that, and then he immediately ejected China from the match. Yeah. Yeah, and then throughout the match, yeah, Stone Cold and Mankind were just continuing to just beat down Triple H, and then eventually, Stone Cold then like went at it with Mankind. At one point, Mankind like tried to go for the mandible claw on Triple H, but he did it without Mr. Sacco, which I thought was kind of interesting, seeing that like even after Mr. Sacco debuted, and pretty much from that point on, Mankind always had a Mr. Sacco when he did the mandible claw, but yeah, he didn't. Yeah, he like applied the mandible claw to Triple H without Mr. Sacco on. Yeah, and then another point in the match, then Mankind actually did like pull out Mr. Sacco and put the mandible claw on Stone Cold, and then he also put the mandible claw on Triple H at the same time. time. So yeah, I thought it was interesting seeing Mankind do a double mandible claw like that. Yeah. And then eventually, then at one point, Shane McMahon then came down trying to get involved in the match. But then yeah, Stone Cold then just gave Shane the stunner, and then yeah, Jesse the Body then just threw Shane out of the ring. Yeah. Yeah. And then then at the end of this match, Triple H then tried to hit a pedigree on Stone Cold. Well, but then yeah, Mankind then took out Triple H, and then yeah, then Mankind hit a double arm DDT on Stone Cold, and then yeah, Mankind then got the pin, and Mankind won the WWF title. So yeah, that was kind of random putting the WWF title on Mankind. I mean, that was something I'm sure nobody was really expecting to happen. Yeah. And even now, I still question why they did it, because yeah, as I'm sure everybody knows, the next night on Raw, Triple H just ended up winning the WWF title from Mankind. So what was even the point of Mankind winning the WWF title here? I mean, I really would think that it just should have been Triple H winning the title here instead of just giving Mankind a one-day title reign, which was absolutely pointless to do. So, yeah, so yeah, the result I really was not a fan of, and I just felt it was really pointless. But yeah, the match overall, it was still a good match, and yeah, like I said, I did like that they had Jesse the Body Ventura involved in the match as the referee. So yeah, so it was a good enough match. I would give it 3.5 stars. So overall with the show, I would give it probably a 5.5 out of 10. I mean, just yeah, like I said, a lot of the matches are okay, but yeah, like I said, just it's the booking that really does bring them down. With the opener, the hardcore title, the Lions Den, the Kiss My Ass match, and pretty much a lot of the other matches are pretty boring as well. So yeah, so the Vince Russo style booking is really just the main problem with the show, and really makes me feel as harsh about the show as I do. So, yeah, but like I said, it does have a couple of good matches. The Greenwich Street fight is really, really good, and the triple threat overall is pretty good too. So, yeah, so a couple of good matches, but it's not enough to make the show good. The show overall, it does suck, and it really does come down to the booking. So, yeah. So, yeah, like I said, I don't recommend the show, but yeah, if you have to check out a match, I definitely say do check out the Greenwich Street fight. It is a really, really good match, and definitely the highlight of the show. But yeah, the rest of the show overall, I can't really recommend it. Well, maybe the main event is probably worth a watch too, but yeah, everything else I definitely say this Summerslam is a definite skip, and I really do see why it is it's really just nobody really does talk about it, because yeah, it is an extremely forgettable and unmemorable show. So yeah, so I'm really not a fan of this show, and I just really don't see how anybody could really like it. So yeah, but I guess if you can get past all the Vince Russo style booking, you'll enjoy it enough, and you will think it is a decent event. But yeah, I just cannot look past it. The booking really does affect my grade on it. So yeah, so yeah, a very bad. The overbooking really does ruin the show for me. So yeah, so that is my take on it. All right, so I guess that's all I can really say. All right, so this does it for my review of SummerSlam 1999. I hope you guys did enjoy this review, and yeah, and as I told you, I also do have another video planned for me talking about a certain match at a certain Bash at the Beach event. And not the whole show, but just a match from a certain Bash at the Beach event. And yeah, and if I have a problem with the Vince Russo booking here, you can bet that the show I want to talk about is another Vince Russo show. So yeah, you can probably guess what show I am talking about. Yeah, there's a match from that Bash at the Beach event that I do want to talk about. I'm not going to review the whole show, but there's a match I want to talk about. So that's going to be coming up next, so stay tuned for that. But I hope you guys did enjoy this review, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.